Hi, my name is Brian Aguado. I'm an assistant professor of bioengineering at UC San Diego. Hobbies. I love to bake. I'm a Great British Baking Show fanatic. So I actually bake paper cakes for my students when they publish papers. I ask them what ingredients they want and like what kind of flavor profile they want, and I'll find a recipe online and bake it for them.
I love that so much.
Yeah, it's fun. I think my most exciting discovery as of right now has been identifying X-linked genes that modulate female-specific fibrosis, right? So we're so excited about how sex chromosome biology can broadly modulate cell responses to the extracellular matrix. So my lab uses hydrogel biomaterials. We are a biomaterials-based lab. And we design different types of polymer systems where we can mimic the matrix of valve and cardiac tissues to determine how these X and Y-linked genes can modulate sex-specific cellular phenotypes. I have been a fan of matrix biology like probably my entire career. I first found out about the society in 2021, so I attended, but then, when was the first time I attended this meeting? I think it was in 2023 when I actually attended in person. And then that's when I was the most excited because I remember writing down notes furiously at every talk. I was like, okay, I'm a matrix biologist, right? So, yeah, and then what brought me this year was that I was the Junior Investigator awardee this year. So it's been a lot of fun sharing my work with the community in that way. So I really appreciate the awards committee and the society for giving me the opportunity to share my work with them this year. So 3 mentors come to mind. My undergrad mentor, Sarah Halsorn. She showed me what it meant to be a professor in the first place. I thought that professors were just folks that taught in the classroom, but I was that undergrad that didn't know what professors actually did until I went to college. And then I found out that professors run research laboratories and they manage PhD students and postdocs. And I learned what that was from Sarah, and I was like, oh, that's the job I want. And I haven't looked back since, right? And then my PhD mentor, Lonnie Shea, taught me how to be a creative scientist and how to always make sure you're doing something cool. And then my postdoc mentor, Christy Anseth, really provided me a space where I could be independent. She was just I remember kind of on my first day, she's like, have fun. So I just made it made her lab my playground and really became an independent scientist in her group. So it was a lot of fun. Important matrix teachers, that's a good question. I think at this meeting, Boris Heinz. I've obviously have read a number of his papers. I've been a fan for a long time, but I finally heard him speak at this meeting, and I finally understand why people love him. So he's so funny, and it was just a lot of fun watching him talk this year. So that was a fun experience this year. Great question. I think it's a reminder, especially during these times, that it's not always going to be this way, right? I think that the scientific community has experienced highs and lows. Right now we're in the low, but there's always going to be highs too. So I think it's just a matter of recognizing that doing your science is a form of advocacy and sticking it out through the tough times and finding your community. Because if you don't tap into community, that's how misinformation continues to progress. So as scientists, we have to connect with our communities to fight the misinformation spread. So there's lots of things that junior investigators can do to weather the storm. A standout collaboration, I'd say, was, meeting Dan Abedbayehu. He has been super fun so I met him at the 2023 meeting, and it was, I learned a lot about fibroblast biology from him, and And we even talked about maybe writing up a grant at this meeting. So I think like, again, collaborations take a lot of time, and you want to make sure that you see people routinely, because that's how relationships are forged. And so it will take a little bit of time to get collaborations up and running, but I mean, that's the kind of the tragedy of PIs, right? Like we can think of collaborations night and day easily, but then we just need to find the resources. Ooh, I'm a dog guy. I love dogs. We adopt, don't shop. So we definitely want to do that, right? But if I were to ever get a dog, I've never had a dog though. So if I were to ever get a dog, it would not be able to shed. So I like to keep the house clean, but I do love dogs.